Today in this video, I'm going to share with you 2 simple tips that can help you to learn Vietnamese better. Let's get started. So the first tip is write it down, After each lessons or a few vocabulary that you learned and you think it's really useful for you to learn, write them down. Make a sentence or a dialogue or a paragraph. Describe it, make it clear, make it something related to your life, to you. When you learn something, you have to write it down. In Vietnamese, we have 6 tones. Ma, 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 ma. It's really easy for you to be confused. For example, 3 words. Bang, bang, bang. If you put the wrong tones, it will give you different meanings. When you learn a vocabulary, each time you write it down, maybe you forget, it's totally fine. But then if you continue practicing writing vocabulary or a whole sentence, you will see that it's really useful in the future. When you have more vocabulary, you will be less confused when you see words. For example, mua, buy, and mưa, rain, của, and cửa. It's like off, and there's one in the door. Cửa, off, like my friends. Bạn của em, my door. Cửa của em. The more vocabularies, the more that your brain have to work out everything. When you learn something, you have to write it down, write it down, write it down. Even you don't remember, don't force yourself to remember everything you write down, but it just train your brain and your hand to pick up the vocabulary, to learn the tones and which vowel, like u or ư or o. I know that nowadays the people prefer texting something, typing something, but actually when you write it, it will take a little bit longer time for you to write the words, learn the vocabulary, but then you will remember it better. The more you write it, the more you get better at it. It's easier for you to recognize them in a context. After each lessons, I suggest that you can try to write a few sentences or write a few paragraphs, or you can write 5 sentences with the vocabulary that you learned, or you can write out a dialogue about ordering food between you and the waiter or waitress. Tip number 2, recording your voice. After each lesson, try to write a few paragraphs or a dialogue. For example, ordering food, asking someone their name or asking their address or phone number, and then practice reading a few times. If you can memorize a dialogue, that will be good, but you don't have to. So you only need to record your voice. If you are not sure, you can send it to your teacher. You can ask your Vietnamese friend to see that with pronunciation that you need to improve. If possible, you can ask them to practice again with you. If you don't have anyone, it's alright, you just practice it. If you have a Vietnamese friends, or if your boyfriends or your wife or your husband who is Vietnamese, you can practice dialogue with them and recording the conversation between you two, and then you can listen again. When you make the recording the first time, the second time, the third times, you cannot see the difference. What if you make 10 of them, 20 of them, and then you listen to the current one and compare with the first one, and you see the huge difference from your pronunciation. Sometimes that we need something to keep us moving, going, pushing ourselves to go forward. These are the things when we look back and see how far that we go. It's really motivating for us to see the progress. But maybe the first time you record and you don't really like your voice, the second it's awful, the third time you don't want to listen to it. Actually keep listening, go back to listen these recordings, and then continue making more recordings. I guarantee that it helps you a lot if you make 20 recordings, or even the first 10 recordings, and then you go back to your first one. You can see so much difference in your voice, in your accent, in your vocabulary. How do you know if you don't record it for the first lesson and for the 10 lessons? In conclusion, the first tip is to write it down. After your lessons, you can pick up 5 vocabulary and then put them in a paragraph or a dialogue. Practice your paragraph or dialogue out loud a few times, and then you can record your voice. After recording your voice, you can listen to your voice again. I know that it's really hard for you to listen to your voice because it doesn't sound really nice, but trust me, I hope this video is helpful for you, and thank you very much for watching this video. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!